From assists you'll never see coming to defenders making skill moves like seasoned pros. These are the 25 high IQ moments in football, and first up, it's the biggest football moment of 2019. The Champions League semi-finals, Liverpool vs Barcelona, and it was close. Barca won the first leg 3-0, and coming into the second against Liverpool at Anfield, it was supposed to be a case of protecting what they had and making it to the final. But with 60 minutes gone, they'd somehow choked on their lead and were drawing 3-3 on aggregate. At this point, it was tense, because all Barca had to do was score one goal since the away goal rule was still a thing. But in the 78th minute, Liverpool went on the attack, and what happened next was simply mind-blowing. Corner taken quickly. I still get goosebumps just remembering that night. Insane stuff. Safe to say the Barca defense never saw Trent's corner coming, just like how Valencia wasn't expecting this stunner from the German sniper. In 2020, Toni Kroos and Real Madrid were out in Saudi Arabia for business, the Spanish Super Cup semi-finals. They were the favourites coming into the match against Valencia, but that didn't mean Valencia would sit back and allow Madrid to take the win. So they decided to make it difficult for Los Blancos by defending from the start. But Toni Kroos wasn't ready to wait that long before getting his team in front, and it only took him 15 minutes to find the loophole in the Valencia defense. And the sniper hit hard. Dude legit scored from a corner. He hit a FIFA glitch in real life. This guy makes the impossible seem normal. I'd try that 100 times and flunk all 100. Watching this one again, I bet Toni Kroos has been watching a couple of Guti videos. Because the stuff this dude used to pull off back in the day, amazing. To many people, Guti is one of the most underrated ballers of his generation. On the ball, he could make magic happen without even having to try. He's got some insane highlights over the year, combined to create something so insane, you might never see it again. The 2009-10 La Liga season, Real Madrid was facing Deportivo La Coruña away from home. At the time, Karim Benzema was still finding his feet in Madrid, and being one of the seasoned pros, Guti made it his job to help him. As the game went on, Madrid started creating chances, and pretty soon Guti found himself through on goal. From that range, he could have easily scored and gotten the goal to himself, but this guy thinks like an alien. Let's just say he saw stuff no one else did and executed it to perfection. It's like he's got eyes at the back of his head. A genius. Back heel assist is crazy, but imagine scoring a back heel goal. Oh yeah, Luis Suarez already did. 2019-20, and Suarez was playing for Barcelona versus Mallorca in what was supposed to be a normal league game until Suarez took it up a notch. Now, he's banged some spectacular goals over the years, but no one was prepared for what Suarez was about to pull next. He got the ball played into him by Jordi Alba and backed the goal like he was. The easiest option would have been to pass or hold up play until a teammate arrived. But it's Luis Suarez, the guy simply doesn't do easy. And a second later, he had guys like me struggling to believe what we'd just seen. No words, unbelievable. The angles on this goal were amazing. He just made one of the most difficult trick shot goals look normal. What a guy. Suarez though isn't the first guy to pull off a trick skill move like that and make it work. This OG was doing it in the era of prime Barclays. 2007-08, and football in that era was insane. Ronaldo wasn't just about the goals back then, my man was complete, and in the game versus Aston Villa, he had the skill moves on lock too. Now, he and Wayne Rooney had been teaming up and cooking all season, but no one would have been prepared for what was coming next. The ball got played into Ronaldo at pace, and with no time to turn, I thought he'd trap it down or something. But it's either he and Rooney had walkie-talkies no one had seen all game, or they were on some telepathic wave, because what Ronaldo did next, oof. He picked out an inch-perfect back heel assist without even turning to look. Whoa, told you these guys were prime Barclays. Crazy to think how in the same season, Ronaldo was also on the end of some high IQ moves in the league. 2008-09 now, and 1 year after, United had added one of the world's best technical players to their squad. Dimitar Berbatov. Now, I knew Berbatov was good, but in the match against West Ham, he did something people couldn't stop talking about. He got the ball out wide and was running to it, but a West Ham defender was chasing him down. Should have ended the move there, but instead Berbatov dropped a move so crazy it was immediately named after him. Berbatov had just introduced the Berber spin to the world, and now everyone wanted to do it, including me on weekends. Berbatov is special. Even towards the end of his career, he was still dropping the insane moves at Monaco. 2013-14 now, and even though Berbatov was at the end of his career, he was still making waves. This time at Monaco, he was involved in a league match against OGC Nice. And let's just say Berbatov decided to use the occasion to cook. He received the pass from out wide, trapped it with the outside of his boot, and his teammates were all rushing at the far post expecting a cross. But that was the one mistake they made. I mean, it's Berbatov. You never rush, you just sit back, watch, and allow him to do his thing. Finesse card maxed. Seriously, this guy's a living legend, the king of the first touch, and inspired a new generation too. Heck, football's even got dudes like Pablo Fornals hitting stunners from impossible angles. I can't even lie, I always knew Pablo Fornals was good, but I didn't know he was that good. At the time, Fornals was playing for West Ham in a league game versus Bournemouth. When he produced a piece of skill so extraordinary, it made him cry. The ball got crossed in, and after some of his teammates had missed their kick in the box, it looked like the ball had gone over Fornals, but instead he adjusted right on time to hit a scorpion kick to perfection. The agility on this one is top tier. I'd break my spine trying to attempt this one. Fornals, take a bow. I haven't seen a goal as impressive since Pedro scored with his heel without even looking. This one was in pre-season of 2019, and for Pedro, it was about fighting to keep his place in the team. Chelsea had switched coaches now, and Frank Lampard was all about giving the younger youth team players a chance. Meaning for the older dudes like Pedro, it was either they performed or they were out. So in the game versus Salzburg, Pedro was determined to show he still got it and keep his place in the team. All he needed was the perfect opportunity, and minutes into the game, he got it. The ball got crossed into the box from out wide, and with Pedro running to it, I was expecting a flick back or something. But he had other ideas. Nah, you don't teach that. You've either got it or you don't. Impressive techs. But you see, Pedro's goal wasn't trying to win him a Puskás award, like my man Olivier Giroud. In his prime, Giroud only scored bangers and won major trophies too. In 2017 though, it just felt like he was on a mission. On New Year's Day, Giroud and Arsenal were facing Crystal Palace at home, in a game they were expected to win. But with the stadium near full capacity, it kind of felt like the players owed the fans something special. You know, get them out of their seat stuff. And Giroud and Alexis Sanchez got the memo. Sanchez dinked the ball into Giroud's path, but it was slightly behind him. Should have been a problem, but Giroud had it covered. A scorpion kick, and it even went in off the bar too. Giroud's goal was so impressive that it got nominated for the Puskás Award later in that year, and it finished in first place. But you see guys, sometimes it's not just the goals that make up the smart moments in the games. Some defenders like Gabriel produce impressive high IQ moments to stop them from going in too. Gabriel was part of the Arsenal team that faced Manchester United at home in the league early this season, and the match entered the closing minutes full of drama. With the scores tied at 1-1, Bruno Fernandes picked out Alejandro Garnacho's run, and it looked like he'd done enough to stay onside, raced through and scored what should have been the winner for United. Until VAR had a look, and what they found out immediately turned Gabriel into the smartest man on the pitch. Watch Gabriel hold the line and step back before Garnacho races through. That's high IQ on display. To make it even better, Arsenal scored 2 late goals minutes after to seal the win. Impressive stuff. I can't lie, I've got a thing for players who can produce high IQ moments like this. Dudes like Gabriel or Dani Olmo. RB Leipzig versus Bayern Munich in the German Super Cup, and Dani Olmo had tricks up his sleeve waiting for Bayern's back line. And Lucas Hernandez became his target ASAP. Now, Olmo's a pretty smart dude. Kind of knew this when he got his teammates to subscribe to Mr. Football before anyone else even realised. And in the game, he decided to play a fast one to see who'd fall for it. Bayern's Alphonso Davies had to come off due to an injury, and because of that, the referee paused the game when Bayern was on the ball, meaning the Leipzig players had to give the ball back to Bayern. So Dani Olmo looked like he'd played the ball out for a Bayern throw-in. At least that's what Lucas Hernandez thought, because he went over to take the throw-in for his team, until he got a shock surprise he wasn't expecting. The assistant referee had raised his flag out wide for a handball by Lucas Hernandez. And he couldn't believe it. That's almost as smart as the time Sergio Ramos avoided a red card by playing pretend dead. On the outside, Sergio Ramos is seen by most people as a bad guy who cheats his way to games and would do anything to win. But on the flip side, he's actually just a really smart guy. Ramos was playing for Real Madrid in a tough game against Real Sociedad when, after just 5 minutes, the ref booked him for a foul. This was already a warning sign for Ramos that he couldn't afford to dive into any tackles now or risk getting a red. And the Sociedad players knew this too, so they kept targeting him as a weak point in the Madrid team. The thing is though, Ramos didn't flinch until moments later when Mikel Merino fired a goal-bound shot, but Ramos got in the way and this happened. It was definitely handball, but Ramos faked his way to playing to the ref that he was just trying to protect his face, and the ref bought it and didn't give the foul. Kinda feels like it's a Spanish thing to be smart. Sergio Ramos and Sergio Busquets. On first appearance, Busquets physically looks like my peak in high school. Very unathletic with long limbs, but behind all that is one of the smartest footballers in the world. Last year, Busquets was captain of the Barca team that faced Cadiz away from home in a game they should have won. But with seconds left to play, the scores were tied 0-0 when Salvi Sanchez hit on the break for Cadiz, swung the ball into the box and got his teammate to head into the goal. But the ref had to disallow the goal because Busquets had hit a move that was going to cost him a yellow card, but save his team in the process. He threw a second ball onto the pitch just before Sanchez hit the cross, and according to the rules of the game, it's illegal to have 2 balls on the pitch at the same time, meaning Sanchez's goal wasn't gonna count. Busquets, what a guy. Told you it's a Spanish midfield thing. Heck, they've even got guys like Thiago Alcantara pulling no-look assists. In Bayern Munich's Champions League game versus Red Star Belgrade, Thomas Müller was a goal away from making history. At the time, he needed just one more goal to become Bayern's all-time top scorer in the competition. And lucky for him, Thiago Alcantara was determined to make sure he got the goal. Bayern had a free kick outside the area, and I'm guessing they must have worked on this one in training all week, because the execution was top tier. From the free kick, Thiago looked like he was still trying to discuss with his teammates which midfield options to pick, when he immediately flipped the switch. Bang! Müller stayed alive to it and slammed home the goal to make history. That assist from Thiago though, world class. No wonder he got voted as the UEFA Midfielder of the Year later on. What a talent! Watching the way Thiago deceived the Red Star defense reminds me of how Mbappe did the same thing to the guys at Real Madrid. To be fair, Mbappe's been playing Madrid for a long time. In 2022, he scored the winning goal in the first leg for PSG to win 1-0. And coming into the second, all the attention was on him to deliver. And he did. Once Mbappe got into the Madrid back line, he kept tormenting them, including pulling off this skill move that sent the whole Bernabeu stadium and everyone watching packing. Damn, Mbappe really made everyone move like that and still scored. It was at this point the whole world knew he was the guy. In the end though, Mbappe's goal got ruled out for offside, but on this one, the goal was never really the point. To pull off a move like that in a game like this, genius. Maybe that's why Madrid wants him that bad, to complement other geniuses in the team, like Nacho. He probably goes down as a dude who was always under the radar, but trust me, Nacho is one of the smart guys. And in 2017, he showed it to the entire world. Madrid was facing Sevilla in the league, and as usual, Sevilla was determined to make the game difficult for Los Blancos. The fouls kept coming in from all angles. With the amount of quality they had on the pitch, you'd probably be expecting the star player in the Madrid team like Ronaldo, Bale or Toni Kroos to open the scoring, but this was Nacho's moment to prove he had the brains too. And that's when he caught the Sevilla defense napping. The ref gave the goal, and Nacho's clever free kick was the difference early on. Defenders scoring from clever set pieces, Nacho isn't the only one on the list. Even John Stones has done it too. When John Stones first came to Man City, he was a centre-back everyone thought would struggle for minutes early on. But now, he's one of the most versatile players on the team. In the league match versus Liverpool at Anfield, City came into this one knowing they'd have the ball, but Liverpool would also have players ready to defend. So if they were going to try and score, it'd have to be from something clever, and that's when John Stones came in. They'd got a corner in the first half, and with Kevin De Bruyne on the ball, I can't lie, I thought he was gonna whip this one into the far post or something. But instead he caught everyone out and Stones stayed alive. Now I know the props go to Stones for the goal, but KDB's vision, top notch. Dead ball goals always need a certain level of brilliance. Gotta have an artiste on the ball. Ronaldo and Pjanic understood that. Ronaldo and Pjanic were representing Juventus in a league match versus Sampdoria in 2020, when they got a free kick just outside the area. From that angle, Pjanic looked like he could bend it and go for goal, but it'd probably be too tight, so he must have fancied a cross into the area, and being a prime target like he is, Ronaldo must have been the first option, but CR7 had other ideas. All he had to do was give Pjanic the signal, and once he did, they executed the plan to perfection. Drew everyone away from himself with the run to the ball and found the bottom post. Well worked. Truth is, Ronaldo's an expert when it comes to stuff like this, but don't take it from me, just ask Manuel Neuer. 2014, the Champions League semi-finals. Ronaldo's Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena, with a ticket to the final on the line. In a game like this, it was gonna be tight. At least that's what I thought until Ronaldo put on a show. He bagged early on and knew at the time that all he needed was one more goal to set a new record for the most goals in a Champions League season. Pretty soon Madrid got a free kick outside the box close to goal, and once Ronaldo stood over it, the stadium held its breath. I mean, it's Ronaldo. He's scored a catalogue of crazy knuckleball goals over the years. And Neuer must have been thinking this would be one of them. But you see, Ronaldo had spotted something in the Bayern wall no one else had. And seconds later, he left the entire stadium stunned. No way, he legit left one of the best defenders in Europe confused like that. Under the wall and in. Maybe if Neuer had the IQ juice like Sergio Herrera, he could have saved it. Herrera's moment is pretty iconic. He was Osasuna's goalie when they faced Real Madrid at home, and Madrid wasn't in any mood to play with the team they brought to town. Even Benzema was starting. Minutes into the game, Madrid got a penalty after a foul, and it was obvious who was going to take it. Benzema placed the ball down, and here many people thought this was going to be a certain goal. But Herrera is no slouch, and he'd already prepared for this moment. Told Benzema where he was going to put it, went the right way, and saved it. Unfortunately though, the ref spotted Herrera moving off his line before the kick was taken and ordered the penalty to be replayed. Ouch. Seems like all of that hard work was gonna move down the drain. Benzema placed the ball on the spot again, all set to hit part 2 until this happened. Herrera guessed the right way and saved again. Who knows, maybe Herrera's been taking penalty saving lessons from Jan Sommer. And now this guy showed his insane IQ skill when he saved a pen from the dead ball master. Narrowing it down to spot kicks, Jorginho's a legend. It's like he was made for this. All through his career coming into Italy's match against Switzerland, he's only ever missed from the spot twice. And ever since he made his trademark hop and skip move a thing, it'd become even more difficult for goalies to guess which way he was gonna play it. Against Sommer and Switzerland, when Italy got a pen, it should have been business as usual. But what Jorginho didn't know was that Sommer had been studying him for months, and showed Jorginho he'd figured out his trick. Watch Sommer's legs. He'd waited for Jorginho to think he'd dive to the left, and once Jorginho fell for it and thought Sommer had gone the wrong way, Sommer quickly changed directions and easily saved the pen. Amazing! But now guys, it's into the top 3, and this next dude used his brains to hit a dirty shade on one of the OG managers in the game. Coming into the 2004-05 season, Thierry Henry and Jose Mourinho were making the headlines for all the controversy. Now Mourinho had started all of it by saying that Henry only scored against small teams, and that's why he won most of his golden boots. Can't even lie, if someone shades all my hard work like that, I'd be pissed. In return, Henry could have responded immediately, but he decided to let his feet do the talking. And when Arsenal and Chelsea faced each other at Highbury days later, Henry showed Jose that he could do it against anyone he wanted to, in a pretty embarrassing way. At the time, Chelsea had the best defense in the league, and Henry just made them look dumb. After the game, Henry found time to get in front of a camera, and he had words for Jose too. Did his team dirty and dropped the reply shade on him. Henry had ended the debate clean. Ouch. Still, credit to Mourinho, he never stopped. Years later, and he was even teaching ball boys how to win games from the sidelines. 2019 now, and Mourinho was the coach of Tottenham when they faced Olympiacos in the Champions League in a game they had to win. But with minutes left to play, they were going off script and losing. Spurs knew they had to up the tempo somehow, but Mourinho for some weird reason couldn't get his players to do it. Lucky for him, he had a ball boy who understood the assignment and got the ball rolling. Watch Jose go shake him after. Made the kid a legend already. Still though, it's got nothing on the top moment on the list because at number 1, Lionel Messi and Antoine Griezmann combined for one of the most beautiful goals you'll ever see. Here's the deal, in 2019, away at Real Betis, Messi produced one of the best goals of his career. Dinked it from outside the box, and the goal was so good even the Betis fans were applauding. Fast forward to 2020 and Messi wanted to turn creator this time, so he and Griezmann switched positions. Once Grizzy was in Messi's position, it was all about getting the same contact Messi had gotten 1 year earlier, and Grizzy nailed it to perfection. From a position everyone expected him to blast it or find the bottom corner, Griezmann showed he's a cut above the rest by using Messi's skill move and dinking it. Sublime stuff. Messi's a genius, all around. From goals to assists, he's always got his teammates covered. But you see guys, when it comes to family, especially his kids, I guess he's not that loving. Pretty sure you won't believe this, but it's 2024 and Messi's refused to let his kids have iPhones. He's got a solid reason though, and it'll leave you stunned. Click the next video to find out the reason why Messi will never buy an iPhone for his sons.